Hey guys, Dr. Kyle here. Let me just get my seatbelt on before we rock and roll this thing. Hey, welcome to a little drive time here again. And this is a great video I want to talk to you guys about. It's really the overlying big conception, idea, philosophy, I guess you could say, of health and how you really capture that for your family. How you make sure that 5, 10, 15 years down the road, when your kids are going to college, when they're older, that they live a long, healthy life and that you're there with them, playing with your grandkids, doing all the stuff that we truly want in life. The reason we go to work, the reason we do a lot of things is that we can really enjoy our family long term. And we focus on a lot of things. Most of us hopefully are focused on building financial health so that our family's taken care of and that we're not stressed out and worried about money all the time. But most people don't think about their actual health, their physical health in their body and how that affects every aspect of your life. So the one thing I want to ask you right now is do you have a health plan? What is your health plan for your family? If in the world we live in today, if you don't have a plan of action to make sure that your family is healthy and some goals that you're going after and things like that, then you really are setting yourself up for failure. And statistically speaking, I can say it because the statistics prove it, that we really have to make a plan. You have to have a game plan for your health. Right now in America, we're the sickest country in the industrialized world. You've heard me say that before. Out of 37 industrialized countries, we're dead last. We have more doctors, more hospitals, more technology, but we're sicker than we've ever been before, right? We're 5% of the world's population. We take 75% of the world's medication. 1 out of 2 people right now is that have heart disease or cancer. I think it's 1 out of 3 for cancer. It's still a huge number. I can go on and on about diabetes. I can go on and on about obesity and all these other health issues that we all know about, and we know that they are major, major issues. However, it's not changing our healthcare. We're talking about healthcare all the time in politics, and all they're talking about is how we're going to pay for the same healthcare, but we're not changing it. So you individually have to take control of your health and your family's health by having a plan of action. Okay, so my first question to you would be, do you have a game plan? And if so, is that game plan solid? And I'm not talking about your insurance plan, okay? You can go to Blue Cross Blue Shield and have a health insurance plan, but we all know that doesn't bring you health. And the truth is the only thing insurance pays for is emergency care. They don't pay for health care. They pay for you if you get in an accident and you have a health issue, or you have, you get diagnosed with some major health concern, or you have to have a surgery. That's not health care. That's emergency care, right? That's sick care. I'm asking you, what is your health care plan? So I'm going to give you 5 things that, as you're creating a health care plan for your family, that you must look at and able to make sure that you're giving yourself and your family the best optimal ability to live a long, healthy life, right? Everything's not perfect. Everything isn't exact. Nothing's, there's always variables and things. So I can't tell you that you absolutely will live a long, healthy life and live to the age of 100 with your grandkids and everything else. But you can absolutely, there's some things you can do to make sure that you're getting that direction. So let's start out with this. And I'll tell you this, the reason I think this is so important is, I do these videos and I speak a lot at businesses and corporations and to our patients. And I've really learned that we get the idea of getting rid of a symptom. Like if I have a headache, there's a certain protocol you could do through taking a medication or chiropractic care or something like that. And you could get rid of that symptom, like the headache. But did you really build health, or did you just remove some things and change some things up in your body so you don't have headaches anymore? Y'all see what I'm saying? It's not really understanding the philosophy. We've been taught, so I'm going to start with the philosophy behind how the body works, that our body, number one, is wonderfully, powerfully made. It doesn't need help healing. It just needs no interference. And what I mean by that is that your body always does the right thing, right? Your body heals. This is physiology. Our body heals from the inside out. Okay, so it doesn't heal by taking things. We were always taught that there's a certain thing, if you take it, it's going to bring health to you. And that doesn't exist. An apple, yes, an apple brings nutrients and minerals and everything else, so your body has what it needs to be healthy, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be healthy, right? The functioning of your body means you're going to be healthy. So it's ultimately how well your body's functioning and healing is the definition of health. I believe the definition of health is actually that your body's functioning and healing at 100%. So understanding that that's what health is, now we start to give our body the things it needs to be healthy. So it's about building up health, okay? So it's about giving your body strength and its optimal ability to function and heal. And that's how you keep yourself from getting things like heart disease and cancer, or even back pain and neck pain, or even digestive problems, or things like that. Is those all stem from the fact that your body's not healing properly. And the reason it's not healing is there's some sort of interference somewhere in your body coming from a stressor, which is a physical, chemical, or emotional stressor. So that's the philosophy of health. So whenever you're thinking, should I do something for my health? Should I take this pill? Should I do this surgery? Should I do this protocol or treatment? You go back to is, well, is it going to remove the interference that's causing my problem in the first place? And is it going to build health, strength, and healing in my body? And if it does, then that's a good choice to do. It might not be the only answer, but it's a part of it. That's the other part, is that when it comes to healing and getting strong, healthy body, it's not just one thing. You can't just say, here's an eating plan and you're going to be healthy now for the rest of your life. Here's how it works. Here's what I found and what I recommend to our patients. You do these 5 things. Number 1, you look at your nutrition. Absolutely. That's one of the things you can do. You can start to look at what you're eating, what you're putting into your body, right? Are you building inflammation by the food that you're eating? Are you building disease by the food that you're eating? Or are you building health with the food that you're eating? It's one or the other. There's no neutral zone there, okay? So the food is either reducing inflammation or it's causing inflammation in the body, okay? And so regardless of the diet that you choose, whether it's a keto diet or a paleo diet or a whatever diet, is the one key thing that all good diets have in common, or all I'd call eating plans have in common, is that they're anti-inflammatory. They implement the anti-inflammatory foods. So if you've never had any kind of testing to show if you're allergic to certain foods, your best step is to use foods that are generally anti-inflammatory within your diet. Okay, and stay away from foods that are inflammatory. Things like sugar, especially processed sugar. Things like grains, pasta, rice, breads, those things. Unhealthy fats, canola oils, vegetable oils, hydrogenated oils, right? Grain-fed animals, pumped full of hormones and antibiotics, right? Preservatives are going to be inflammatory to our body. Things that inflame the body are what you want to stay away from. So number 1 is you have to look at your diet. Are you getting enough water? Are you getting enough electrolytes, minerals, and vitamins, and all those things? And having a good eating plan. So the number 1 thing for your family, the first step, is you got to start looking at what you're putting in the body. If your kids are eating French fries, if they're eating McDonald's, I'm going to start. Most people know McDonald's is bad for you. If they're eating Chick-fil-A, if they're eating any of these things that cause inflammation with unhealthy fats and tons of unhealthy grains and sugar, they're going to be inflamed. If your child's inflamed, your child's building disease. If you're inflamed, you're building disease. That's how it works. You won't see necessarily the symptom from it, especially with kids, until it builds up over time. Adults, you feel it, but kids typically don't feel it right away. Sometimes you'll have that sugar crash with kids and everything else, but ultimately they can handle a lot right now, but it's not building health, it's building disease. So first step is look at what you're eating and build a good plan for your family eating-wise. What are you going to follow? I highly recommend an anti-inflammatory eating plan across the board for your family. You can also do testing to see if there's certain things that different family members are allergic to, like eggs, for example, or nuts, or there's certain vegetables and things you can be allergic to that your body's not digesting properly. It's a great idea to do food allergy testing as well. The second thing, so that's number 1, is diet. The second thing is going to be, are you resting? What does your recovery look like for your family? Okay? Do your kids get to sleep at night? Are you sleeping at night? Are you putting all your energy into everything else that's outside of giving back to yourself, and you're drained? If you're drained, it's eventually going to cause your kids to be drained because they're not going to get the full you. It's going to affect your marriage. It's going to affect your spiritual life. It's going to affect everything. So rest is key. Now, sleep-wise, you want 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night. That's going to help make sure that your body has an opportunity to regenerate and heal itself. But you also have rest from the mental rest throughout the day. If there's certain things that are stressing you out and they're wearing you down, then we got to remove those so that your body can recover. If you're exercising like crazy every single day and you never recover, you never build muscle. You're actually just always breaking yourself down. It goes with every other area of your life as well. So rest is number 2. Number 3 is exercise. You got to get moving. The world we live in today is so sedentary that it literally requires that we actually put time apart for movement, full range of motion, exercise that gets our hormones going, that gets oxygen and cardiovascular health stronger, get oxygen throughout the bloodstream, and gets you using your lungs again, right? So exercise is essential. Now for guys, I recommend a high intensity, short duration type of exercise along with weightlifting. For women, and a stretching routine. For women, I recommend that through periods, through the time period of 1 through 7 days of your menstrual cycle, that you only do stretching type stuff like yoga or walking and movements, but not heavy intensity stuff. The other times, a high intensity, short duration type of exercise is going to be key, but you don't want to overdo it because you don't want to increase stress. But you do need to exercise. We have to get out and move. We should be moving all day long. We think of walking as exercise. I'll be honest, I call walking life. You should be walking all day long. You should be moving all day long, not just sitting at a computer. So exercise is number 2. What's your family's game plan for exercise? If your kids are on an iPad all day or on computers, or they're on Game Boys, I'm aging myself here. I don't even know what they're called anymore. Sorry, video games all the time, whatever the different ones are. That's unhealthy. Your child's building disease. They've shown that, this is the Internal Journal of Medicine did a study, and they showed that prolonged sitting, regardless of your activity levels, meaning if you exercise once a day but you sit all day long, increases all-cause mortality rates. That goes for our kids as well. Their brains are literally shutting down because 90% of the stimulation to your brain comes from the movement of your spine. So we got to move, all right? So exercise is the third thing you want to make sure that you have a game plan. What's my family going to do for exercise? I highly recommend doing this as a family. My favorite thing to do is get outside with Eleanor and Holly and do a workout. It's a blast, right? So get your family exercising with you. Eleanor's 2 years old and she works out with us. Now, let me be honest, she's moving all day long, so there's really no difference in this than her normal everyday stuff, but she does fake push-ups. She tries to be like us. In other words, we're building her for success down the road. Just by watching what we do, she wants to do it as well. It's pretty cool. Okay, so get your kids out there no matter what age they are, because it makes them want to be like you, right? Okay, the next one after exercise is alignment. Your spine and nervous system are such an essential part of your health. And this is the part that so many people do not realize. When we talk about chiropractic care, because I'm a chiropractor, when we talk about chiropractic care, people think it's for back pain and neck pain. They think it's for like pain syndromes or getting rid of symptoms. And it works great for that, but it doesn't get rid of those symptoms because of chiropractic care. What I mean is this, I'll tell you a great story. Rebecca, if you're listening to this, say hi or whatever. But a patient of ours, Rebecca, she's been in care now for 3 months. And when she came into our office, follow me on this story, it will be very helpful for you. When she came into our clinic, and this is like any other patient that comes in, so she had major headaches, severe headaches for I think over 20 years, severe pressure that would build up, and it was, actually, I can't remember the name of it, it's a pressure syndrome that builds up in the brain, and they had her on 3 different medications for the pressure, I think a blood pressure medication as well, omeprazole because of the acid reflux that was coming from those medications, chronic fatigue, some anxiety and depression medications, and to be honest, I don't remember all of them. She had eyesight issues, so she had pretty intense glasses as well, just tired all the time, not sleeping very well, and so just imagine having headaches all the time. I mean, that's pretty much where she was. And so when she came in, I walked her through what we were going to do. I looked, took x-rays of her spine, looked at her nervous system, evaluated all that, evaluated her posture, her range of motion, and really came to the conclusion based on what she was experiencing and what I saw on the films is that she had extreme subluxation and pressure on the upper part of her neck. And the cerebral spinal fluid pumps throughout your body. Remember, movement feeds the brain, but that area of her spine wasn't moving even if she was moving. And so I set her up for chiropractic care, a protocol with chiropractic care. And I'm going to walk you through. She did chiropractic care. She did 3 times a week of getting adjusted, doing exercises in the office and at home. And I'm just going to tell you her results at this point and then tell you how these results actually happened, okay? Because I want you to understand this. Again, I'm not trying to tell you chiropractic care gets rid of everything, because that wouldn't be teaching you anything. That would be another treatment. I'm going to teach you why it helped, and so that you understand how the body works. So she came into our office in a complete stress mode. She was in fight or flight response. Her body wasn't healing properly, and ultimately what we need to do is start to remove interference so her body could start to regenerate and her nervous system could work again, okay? So she was stuck in a sympathetic response. So we started to adjust her spine and she went through care. At this point, and this is a progress throughout these 3 months that she's been under care, and things have gotten better, and some happened quickly, like the headaches went away very quickly. She started coming off of those medications fairly quickly. After 20 years off of medications for headaches, pretty cool. And then she started coming off omeprazole for acid reflux because the medications weren't causing the acid reflux anymore, so she was digesting food again. We took her through some nutritional protocols, and and then she came off the blood pressure medications. I'm trying to think what else it was. Anyways, at this point, she's off all these different medications, had more energy than she's ever had in a long time. At least these are her words. But this is something really cool, and this is where I want you to understand how the body works. Her eyesight is better. When she started, she had 3.5 magnification in the right eye, 0.5 magnification in the left eye, and this is what she said. And after getting adjusted and going through these protocols, her right eye is now at 1.5. I think I'm getting the numbers right, pretty close if I'm not, but her right eye is 1.5. Her left eye is 20/20 vision now. She has to change her glasses. How does that happen? And I'll tell you this, it wasn't because of the adjustment. Did you hear what I say? It wasn't because of the treatment that we did. It was because her body now has its ability to function and heal again, and that's what the body wants to do. It wants to heal and function and operate. So it's always trying to adapt to its environment. We remove the stressors, remove the interference, and her body does its job and heals again. Okay, so God made us powerfully and wonderfully made. We will heal. We are always fighting to do that. Sometimes you just need someone to help remove the interference, and that's what chiropractic actually does. It removes the interference. It helps your body handle stress, right? It helps your immune system. It helps your digestive system. It helps your nervous system. And so you'll see symptoms like that go away. We'll see menstrual cycle issues getting better. We'll see all these different things getting better simply because we're removing interference and the body does its job again. It gets the opportunity to heal itself and not just have to adapt to stress all the time. Pretty cool stuff. So that's why your alignment of your spine is so important. When we're sitting 80 to 90% of our day, we build this forward head posture. We build segments in our spine that don't move anymore, and they create a stress response in the body, which causes nerve interference and now affects the rest of the system. So chiropractic care, in my opinion, from being in practice now for 10 years and seeing the things that I've seen, is an absolute necessity in the world we live in today for everyone to be under care. Not because you have back pain, not because you have neck pain, because it's one of the best things, research-wise as well, that shows that it helps you handle stress better. So by getting adjusted weekly or bi-weekly, you handle stress better. That's something we know. Cool. That's alignment. The fifth thing, so after alignment, we got diet, rest, exercise, alignment. The final one is your mindset. And I would say this is the most important one, but I save it for last because it lines up with the acronym I like to use, which is the DREAM acronym. The mindset is so valuable in that how you perceive life is really how it affects you, right? If you see two people with the exact same things going on in their life or very similar things going on in their life, one's miserable and one's happy. And it's all about perception. You know, it's how do you see it happening? That's it. At the end of the day, it's what do you see? What's your perception? Now, low energy makes it hard to perceive things in a good way. And this is why this is all important. If you're eating like junk, your mindset's going to be junk because you're inflamed. It's so hard. I just posted a study on our Facebook page that how they showed that inflammation increases depression because you're fatigued if you're inflamed. So your diet plays a huge role in your mindset. But so does exercise. Every study that's been done on depression and depression meds versus exercise has won. Every study. Pretty cool, right? Absolutely cool. All right, guys. That's it. Diet, rest, exercise, and alignment and mindset. Those are all the things you have to address to have a healthy family and create a game plan for them. What is your plan for each one of those areas? That's how sit down with your husband or spouse and write that down. What's your plan for diet, rest, exercise, and alignment and mindset for your family? If you need help with this, message me. I'll walk you through some good ideas, but you got to have those plans. And this will keep you out of the doctor's office. The final thing you can do is stay out of the doctor's office. All they're going to do is give you a pill and to be honest, it makes you worse, statistically speaking. Not an opinion. All right. Hey, you guys have an awesome day. Like this, love it, and share it. People need to understand how the body works. They need to understand health and healing, not just this treatment works good for this. This supplement works good for this. This herb works good for this. No, your body is wonderfully, powerfully made. It's always working to heal itself. All you need to do is remove the interference, give your body what it needs. There are great supplements and herbs to help support that, but that's what they're for. They're for supporting your body's natural ability to heal, not to get rid of a symptom. That's a treatment. I don't believe in treatments. I believe in strengthening your body so it heals itself. You guys have an awesome day. Talk to you later.